Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. The biggest mistake you've ever made, you've probably never considered. It has probably never entered your mind that it was and still is the biggest mistake you have ever made. Whether you can say, well, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Whether you say, well, I didn't ask for it. You can romance any sort of situation, but the biggest mistake of your life, you've probably never wrestled with, you've never considered it. These returning nationals from the UK, they returned to Barbados like many people do. They returned from all over the place, but they didn't do their homework. They didn't read my book. They didn't do research online. They probably went to Barbados for a week, on vacation, and, saw it through, rose-colored eyes, and, worked all their lives. Both of them, a married couple, worked all their lives, built a almost $1 million house in Barbados, returned, and no sooner than they are there, they're ready to sell. Now, not only was it culture shock, not only was it that they were in the place of their birth, but they felt like aliens. Not only was there like a get them kind of thing that everyone was out to rip them off, the final blow was the attorney. Because even when they were selling the house, they still wanted to go back and visit. It was still, the navel string pulls loud. And although the female of the husband and wife couple, they all agreed, both of them agreed to sell the house, go back to England, go back to the UK. But they were saying with the money, they'll get back their money and they'll still visit Christmas, maybe, during the year, sometime when it's really cold in England. They were still planning on being there at hotels and having it as a hub for them, but not having a home, going back as like a tourist. I'm telling you what I was told, straight from the horse's mouth. So the final blow was they found a buyer for their home. The sale went through and the attorney stole their money. That was the final blow. Okay, the final blow. Now, not only were they shocked to the core that it made them both sick, one of them now has to bury the other one. It made them sick. Okay? So, I'm telling you, sometimes you could never return. Sometimes you could never return. Sometimes you should never return. Sometimes you should never turn, like Lot's wife, when they told her not to turn and look back. Sometimes you should not even turn your head to look back, because I am telling you, probably the worst place to be born in this world, which is a bad place to be born from the get-go, but one of the worst locations would be the New World. When you're born from slavery, when you're born from incest, when you're born poor, thieving, lying, cheating, betraying. Okay, one of the worst places you could be born and probably never, ever thought of or wrestled with is Barbados. One of the worst places you could be born is Barbados, a slave port, a slave society, people that rested comfortably in slavery. And although That is a big sore eating out right at the center of your chakra, right between your eyes, right there in the middle of your forehead, right there. Although it is a blazing, a glaring, a huge cancer growing out of your forehead. You've never seen it. You've never given two thoughts about it. In fact, you probably like the way things are. But I'm telling you, whenever you have an opportunity to widen your horizons, it's the hardest thing to accept. You cannot go back. You cannot go back. Okay? So their money is gone. Their dreams are gone. Everything is gone. They cannot go back. There's one is gone, the other one's sick, gone, going. Because the navel string pulled loud, that navel string. There's something to it, spiritually attached still to the place you were born. But when you leave some places, you cannot. You should not go back. This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.